It's time to make bread and butter pickles. And what I have here, I have just thoroughly rinsed after I sliced 6 cucumbers out of the garden and then generously put some pickling salt on there and just kind of mixed them up with the pickling salt and let them sit in the refrigerator pretty much all day since 9 o'clock this morning. But you don't have to do that. Like, it's 3 o'clock now. As long as I stay in there an hour, hour and a half to 2 hours is fine. But you have to thoroughly rinse the salt off. And now we're going to put our vegetables in. Got some, I'm using sweet peppers and onions for mine. It's hard to do with one hand. And I'm going to get the brine together. I'm having a thunderstorm, that's why I'm in today. It's been really hot and humid. I'd much rather be spending my time outside, but I've been spending my time with the garden and trying to fix a few problems. My green beans are being eaten by aphids, so I went and got some neem oil today. And I used it last night, and it seemed to really be effective after the first use. I noticed some, overnight, some of the leaves grew back. So I just sprayed it again before this rain started. So anyway, we're going to get our brine going, and what I'm going to do here is take 2 cups of white vinegar, and we're using all organic ingredients today, except for the spices. They're not organic. Spices are expensive enough, but I do have some organic sugar and some organic vinegars, and of course, organic cucumbers. So we're going to take 2 cups of the white vinegar. By the way, this is my first time doing this. I'm just going off a video I saw on Whippoorwill Holler. I'll put that in the pot, and now we're going to go with the apple cider vinegar. Let's get that open. And we're going to do 1 cup of that. And I've seen a few videos, and there's a few different ways that people do. Basically, it's all the same ingredients. People just have different methods of doing it. And this is the cold pack method, by the way. We're not doing any canning. We're just cold packing them in jars and putting them in the refrigerator. So we go with the 1 cup of apple cider. We're going to add it to the other vinegar. And then we're going to go with 2 cups of sugar. You can use white sugar as well. Let's see. The other side of that. I've had this sugar stored for quite some time. It got a little lumpy. I'm getting into my preps here. That's okay. That's what they're there for. We've got 2 cups of your either white or whatever kind of sugar you prefer, white or organic. We put that right in there, and before we put it on the heat, we're going to add a cup of brown sugar. We'll add our 1 cup of brown sugar. I'm going to be taking this outside to my porch or / outdoor kitchen and heating it up. That's what I do in the summertime. I don't really cook indoors. We're going to get that mixed up. And take this out on the heat. It is raining. We need the rain, though. Beautiful rain. Alright, we're using our camping stove. Jim says hi. Hey Jim, did you come in? You don't want to get wet, boy? And we're just gonna put this on low heat. And let that heat up. And go pack our pickles in a jar. So, most people will use a funnel. I have these wide mouth jars, so I really don't need one. And I don't have one. So, we're rolling with it like this. One-handed. Winging it. I'm just going to fill it up to leave about an inch headspace. For liquid. And I'm using one big jar here. And hopefully fill up a smaller jar too. I'm going to give to my boss. I think that looks pretty full to me. Looks pretty. I'm going to have a little more. Actually, I'm going to just keep up a little more onion and pepper. Go in there. Alright, get these filled up. And we'll move on to our spices in the brine. Let's see. Ooh, I smell it. Yeah, it's boiling. And I think that has dissolved enough. Oh yeah, it's dissolved enough. Ooh! Breathe that in for a second. Let's get the spices in there. Okay. We're going for 3 tablespoons of mustard seed. And you can use brown mustard seed. I'm using yellow. You can use whatever. You can mix it. Two. 3 tablespoons of mustard seed. And you know what? That was supposed to be teaspoons. Yes, it was, but you know, we're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it. Just a little extra mustard seed in there. It's all right. And we're going to do teaspoons the right way with the celery seed and the turmeric. Alright, so 1 teaspoon, that would be the smaller one, of celery seed. I'm glad I had that written down. If I had my glasses on, I'd be even happier. But anyway, I caught it. So we've got our mustard and our celeries in there. Now we're going for our turmeric, and this is just 1/2 of a teaspoon of turmeric. This is what's going to give it its color. It's hard to measure 1/2 of a teaspoon. That looks about right. What I'm going to do is turn the heat back on just for a minute and get all this blended in well. And I know getting this into those jars, I'm going to wish I had a funnel. I really am. But I can probably make one with a water bottle. Let's go see what I can do about that. Alright, so I've let the brine cool a little bit, and I brought it in, and I'm gonna just do it like this. Since I don't have a funnel, and I'm using one hand for a camera, this is how we're rolling. As you can see, I've got a little too much mustard seed in there, but it's about right. Fill our last jar here. Well, it looks pretty. I'm just going to put our lids on. Now, I let that cool down. I mean, it's not room temperature, it's just warm, but I didn't want to wilt the cucumbers. And it looks a little heavy on the mustard seed, honestly, the bigger jar. The smaller jar, not so much, which I plan to give as a gift anyway. So that's a good thing. And we're supposed to let these sit for 3 days in the refrigerator, and you will have bread and butter pickles. I'll let y'all know how they turn out later.